Have you ever wondered how much you're going to sell in the future? You hear things like, what are your projected sales? And if we don't know some basic stuff about that, guys, we're like, I have no idea. Today on Contractor Fight TV, I'm going to share a few ways for you to know exactly how much money you're going to have coming in your business in the future. Let's go. So fighters, most contractors I talk to when we start working with them cannot answer the question. If I say to them, how much are you going to sell in the third quarter of the year? How much are you going to sell in the next 2 months? Or whatever the question is. And I ask for a specific answer and they can't give me one. And the reason they can't give me one is they just haven't taken some time to learn some of the things we're going to talk about here today. Guys, this is really simple stuff, but it will help you project how much money is going to come in your business. And when you can do that, think about this, you can make some adjustments, right? If you need to, good or bad. The first thing, hands down, the first thing that, guys, you have to know if you want to know how much money is going to come in, you got to know things like, what's my average sale? And I get so much pushback on that one. So many contractors are like, well, every sale's different, Tom. No shit, Sherlock. Not every job is, $5,000. Sometimes there's an $8,000 job. Sometimes there's a $32,000 job. Depends on the scope of work and all that stuff. But you still have a fucking average. Take how much money comes in a given period of time. You can go back a year. You could do it the last quarter. You could do it the last month or two. I don't care. Look at how much money came into the business, and you divide that by how many different projects it was, and now you have an average. So you need to know what your average project size is. You need to know what your closing rate is, meaning for all the leads that come in, what percentage of those turn into money in some way, shape, or form. So you have 10 leads and you sell 3 jobs, that's a 30% close rate. You need to know that. And then certainly with that, one other thing that you really need to know is how many leads are coming into the business in a given period of time. And when you have this historical data in your company, it will enable you to forecast based on everything from seasonality and lead flow and all this other shit, right? So that's first thing. You got to know these basic numbers. Second thing, and this one's key. I used just a simple spreadsheet, guys, and it was basically the day the phone rang with the lead and then the day it sold. And then I created a little formula in the line there that basically said, and this is the thing we're talking about here, is you got to know how many days it takes for you to turn a lead into a sale on average. And, it might be a day, it might be 6 weeks, you might have a longer sales process. So think about this. If you have X amount of leads coming in today and it takes you 4 weeks to turn them into money on average or whatever, what happens when your lead flow is really cut down? Okay? You don't have that many leads coming in. It's going to be generally more than 4 weeks now until you have money coming in. You need to know that, and it will help you project things. Okay? And guys, when you can project, then you're able to make adjustments in your behavior. Okay? Like, man, I better pick up the phone because lead flow is down. If it takes 4 weeks, I got a problem. In our business here in the Contractor Fight, in 2020, the average time from when somebody subscribes to anything that we do, any of our email lists, and comes into our world, and the time they spend their first dollar with us on anything, is right around 22 days. Okay? And so we know that. So we know that it just helps us make these forecasts. Okay? So anyway, point here is, guys, you got to know some of this basic information. All right? How long does it take you to sell a job? What are my average sale closing rate? How many leads are coming in? Those things together will enable you to put shit on the calendar, and you'll be able to predict pretty close how much money's coming in. And the final thing is, do you know what your capacity is? You could sell $100,000 a month, but if you can't produce it, then I'm not going to have all that money coming in if I can't produce the work. Okay? And that's why breaking your jobs I'm a stickler for this, especially for those of you that are like specialty contractors and stuff. If you're a home builder, it's different, right? Subbing everything out. You might self-perform a few things, but guys, no matter what you're doing, you gotta break jobs into man hours. Okay? You gotta break it down and know that, hey, that average sale that we just talked about, so say it's a $5,000 job, and you know that average sale, labor material is $5,000, and it takes us about 50 man hours to produce a job like that. You can put that on the calendar and you know what your capacity is. What I see so many times, especially right now with those that have their shit together, is they're selling more than they can produce right now. Okay? And if you can't produce it, you can't collect all the money, and that's going to affect your cash flow. So then you got to take a step back and go, okay, what adjustments can we make here in order to make sure that the money comes in or we don't overcommit and get ourselves into trouble and things like that. All right? So guys, projecting your sales, okay, touched on this a little earlier, will help you modify your behavior. And the other thing it'll do is it will adjust your expectations. Those two things are really key for you if you're going to run a business that's strong and profitable and delivers a great experience. Okay, projections are huge. One of the things we touched on here was the number of leads coming in, right? And so I want to give you guys a free resource. Head to thecontractorfight.com/leads and check out. We got a thing that basically you plug some info in and it tells you how many leads you need in a given period of time based on that other info that we talked about, and that'll get you on the right path to be able to project how much money is going to come into your business. You guys rock. I got to roll. Don't forget to subscribe and share with somebody. We'll see you next time.